Belated, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. I hope that you had a fantastic day. Here is Mr. Franklin Ashiade. Franklin, happy birthday to you. From Caroline, myself, and of course, Eduji and the entire family. We hope that you had a wonderful day yesterday. We wish you many more good years ahead. All right? And it's your birthday as well, Linda Ya Yabua in Aputuja in Kumasi. I hope that I didn't mess that.
I was looking out for how you would pronounce that.
It's from your husband, Nicholas Forsing, and the entire family. To you, Nanaya, happy birthday. It's also your birthday, Janet Bokpa from Isaac Amo. Oh, mommy, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. It's a big day today for you. So, Auntie Janet Bokpa from Isaac Amo and all of us, really, to you as you celebrate your birthday today. Enjoy it. All right, Ben.
It's another morning.
Yeah.
Have you got counted yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't. Did they get back to you?
No.
Okay.
I know someone else who tried and simply couldn't connect. So I'll try today as well to see how things go, because we must hear by thunder, by fire. We need to get counted. Once I am Ghanaian, I will get counted.
There was a post, and I think that officials should also be following the trends on social media, on Facebook and other platforms where people are, saying that they haven't been counted. Yeah. We need to be counted. We count, so we've got to be counted.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, this morning I have the Ghanaian Times newspaper, Daily Guide, the Finder BNFT, and the National Enquirer.
I'll stay with the Daily Graphic, the New Independence, Daily Statesman, and Daily Dispatch.
Okay, so let's start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Over 558 fire hydrants vanish nationwide. Vanish. Is this a Houdini sort of trick or something? Well, Fire Service says only 650 out of 1,210 are working. That's according to Chief Fire Officer Mr. Edwin Blankson. Then there's Adra probe, let truth come out. Linguist tells commission. It was interesting yesterday listening to the linguist of, is it the Dagomba chief. Then GTA launches service providers customers single window app for tourism industry, and refund allowances paid to spouses of president and VIP. That's according to the TUC, Omosi Monframra back. That is if any payments have been made. I also saw this chart supposedly pointing to the fact that sometime in, was it 2017 or before that, some payments were made to, the erstwhile administration and spouses of the former president and vice president. So you would be looking at Lordina Mahama and, of course, Madam Emisa Arthur. But that, I think it was Cassie Alato Forson or one of those. I saw him post that it was not true, that it had never happened before. And it would have been interesting if that had happened, because we've had the former president, John Dramani Mahama, come out, openly to condemn this bit about payments or emoluments to spouses of the president and VIP. In other stories, 13 perished, 25 injured in fire outbreaks this year, and there's that story we did this morning. We brought you 1 died, 6 injured in accident on Accra Tema motorway. That's on page 3 of the paper. The middle spread gives us these stories. It talks about the fire hydrants, but there's also the president inaugurating an 85-bed Central Gonja District Hospital. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, AstraZeneca supports 37 military and UG hospitals. And there's ECOWAS official calls for laws to punish electoral fake news. All of that in the Ghanaian Times newspaper.
Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper, and it's picked pace, started on social media, and now it's on all the front pages of the newspapers, at least most of them. This is what I'm talking about. CJ refutes $5 million bribery allegations. CID begins investigations. It's on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. It says the CID of the Ghana Police Service has started investigations into a $5 million bribery allegation leveled against the Chief Justice, Justice Kwesi Enim Yeboah. In an interview with the Daily Graphic yesterday, Director General of the CID, Commissioner of Police, Isaac Yeboah, said the investigations had commenced following a request by the Chief Justice. He said, and I quote, "I received a request from the Chief Justice this morning and accordingly referred it to a team of investigators for further action on code." But a bit of what the Judicial Secretary wrote on behalf of the Chief Justice says, this is it. His Lordship, the Chief Justice, is saddened that without any shred of evidence, his name has been dragged into this sordid and potentially criminal matter. His Lordship further asserts that he has not demanded or received any money from any person to influence any decision. That's all contained in that request to the CID, reason for which they've commenced investigation. But this whole bribery allegation, I think yesterday I shared the background with all of us. But what is this case that this whole allegation is coming around? It's actually a land case involving this particular chief whose name has been mentioned, Ojedom Atta the Sixth, and then the Ghana Telecommunications Limited, and the Lands Commission. So it has to do with a land. And then big names have come out of all these allegations. So something that I guess yesterday I did mention, which is usually handled on a quiet, that we all would not know about it. In fact, there are many lawyers who are going through different sort of punishments that nobody would know about it unless you decide to either visit the judicial, the
judicial service, yes,
the judicial service, either the website or the, you try to find information.
Or maybe you try contracting the services of the person, and the person might be compelled to tell you that, oh, owing to X and Y reasons, I cannot do for you what is stated. We only hear of it when they are pretty prominent or they are in the public space, like Francis Xavier Sosu. You remember when he had his issue. So on the back of certain developments, we all knew that he was going through something till the appeal and then his...
Isn't this a bit unique, though? Because it looks like all the documents that were found before the GLC found their way out there. And that's how come we all got to know. It was, playing around on social media. Everything. It's not like somebody said, oh, it's the exact documents. The petition, the rejoinder, and then the CJ's response, which obviously, once it was directed at the CID. But we'll have a lot of conversation around this. There are people who have said that this is misdirected. And so what the option that he has is not to ask the CID to do investigations, but he could file some processes.
Other people have already started processes. When it comes to some of these matters, original jurisdiction, you would be talking about Shraj. ASEPA has petitioned Shraj. It has gone on to petition Parliament. The Speaker has responded. In fact, Parliament has responded, I should say, that they've received this petition, that they will follow through on it. And some have said that the CID, so to speak, has no locus in this matter, unless maybe the Chief Justice is looking at, seeking some redress for defamation or something of the sort. If he's going for some criminal activity, but not necessarily on the back of what has happened, because he shouldn't be going to the CID at this point in time for any rebuttals or anything of the sort. Plus, people have said that in the past, when the CID has come into any of these thorny matters, we've just seen people go scot-free, almost as though, per what people are saying, thorough investigations were not done. This is what some people have said on social media, on radio, on television as well. But I find it interesting. The General Legal Counsel, like we saw with Dr. Dominic Ayine being hauled before them and all that. The Chief Justice himself is on that board, so to speak. And you know who chairs it, right? So it's going to be interesting when matters have to go back there. Who will do what and who will have to? Why they between it all?
Well,
will anybody recuse himself?
In the meantime, we know CID is handling an aspect which the CJ has reported through the Judicial Secretary.
Yes.
There's also the petition before Shraj.
Yes.
And then, the Parliament. So we'll see. This whole thing, it looks a bit scattered right now. It hasn't all come together yet, I guess, in the coming days. But certainly this will remain in the news for a very, very long time.
But one thing to note is that all these bodies that have come into the fray, they have their own specific role to play, depending on how you're looking at it. So it's interesting times. We'll see how Shraj will react, because I feel that we need to get to the bottom of this matter. not just for any personal interest or any individual's interest or anything, but for the sake of our democracy. It is crucial that we make it clear that the judiciary is not mired in anything of this sort. You remember the accusation by, I think it was Muntaka, if you recall, about a certain judge doing something in the course of, the parliamentary discussions that we've been having. So we need to really clear up this matter because it's not good. It
okay,
doesn't look good
so guess what? The NDC has a press conference today on the Chief Justice's bribery saga. That's how they put it. 2 p.m. today. So
they're no press waiting.
I told you this isn't going away, but this is big also because he's the head of the judiciary.
He is,
and it's got just the allegation has got a lot of implications as well. So you'd see that a lot of people will be jumping into this one, but let's not get it too messy.
No, we shouldn't.
Nothing has been proven yet.
But one thing that makes this very different from the cocktail of issues we've seen in the past. This time, it is not some outside person. It is a lawyer of very high repute who is making this allegation. And you would ask yourself, why would that person want to risk all of this, putting this out? If you read that bit, it also talks about the Chief Justice supposedly wanting to do in this person and all of that. So I don't know what the undercurrents are, but that is a twist to the story that really makes it for interesting analysis. A lawyer within the system suggesting this, of course, would need quite a bit of evidence.
Some other persons will also tell you that the person making the allegation has had his own battles.
Oh, yes, true.
As well with the system.
True.
So we wait to see. But there are other headlines on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Tourism Ministry launches app to spur growth. Student Loan Trust Fund chases 20,000 defaulting beneficiaries. Did you ever get a student loan and have you paid?
Me.
Yes,
you did that. I don't owe the state FOCO.
Okay. Did you guarantee for someone though?
No, please.
That's nice. SNP plans deleting 13,000 names from pensioners' payroll. If you go to the back page, this is a sad one that you can't begin to understand what may have gone wrong. On the back page of the Daily Graphic, 1 killed, 6 injured as truck crashes into tollbooth at Tema. And I was just wondering because, he took the whole structure down,
Yeah.
Took the whole structure
the
down.
Was hit, then run over on the legs and all of that. There were all those other people who were affected. It was just a nightmare situation yesterday. And I guess it was, per what we've heard, a lack of just a little bit of patience, to pay your toll and then your toll fee and then move on, and it's cost so many lives. But on the back of that, some people have also been calling for, automated systems. When you go to other parts of the world, you don't necessarily need human beings to sit there and do some of what we're seeing here. It could result in lives being saved. This isn't the first time we are seeing something like this. But on the other hand, we also know about the PWDs, our brothers and sisters living with disabilities. And sometimes these create jobs for them. I remember going to one of the toll areas, and you would see that some of them are. So that is how they earn a living. It's something to look at from different ends.
I mean, there are so many other vehicles and persons involved in this accident. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Because that's a place.
Look at the structure.
And it's concrete.
Yes.
To think that he actually got all of them.
But have you seen the frontage? I think one of the papers
has
the front part. Is it the Daily Graphic? The front page. You see, when you see the front part of the truck, you would realize just what impact to have shattered the front of the truck. So what kind of
speed? Because they say that he first knocked down a person, a human being, before crashing into the booth and injured the attendant, and then subsequently ran into the rear side of a Nissan Saloon car. They give details of that, driven by one Emmanuel Arthur with 2 female passengers on board, and then again run into this toll booth and collapsing the whole structure, concrete structure, just like that. Driver's been arrested and investigations are still ongoing. Just down this particular story, there's poultry farmers and feed producers who have called on the government to save the livestock feed industry from collapse due to the unprecedented shortage of maize, soya, and wheat bran in the country. All right, details of that story right there. That's it for the graphic.
Let's look at the Daily Guide, and their banner headline, maybe, I don't know whether to call it a dead story or whether to call it fake news, I'm sorry, but because this has been debunked, but Mahama wife salaries revealed, and I was talking about that 2017, supposedly sourced from the Ministry of Finance's 2017 let me get this monthly salary and allowance, report, some sort of report. But like I mentioned, Kasialatu Forsen has put it out there that all of that is not true. But that is what the Daily Guide newspaper captures on page 3. It says CJ asks police to probe bribery, and then 1 dead, 6 injured in Tema toll booth accident. Akufo-Addo commissions 2 projects in Salaga, and Kaka's wife explains husband's death. We heard some details of that from yesterday. When you go to the middle spread, entertainment and more, Sam Crunch's daughter gets $1 million on wedding day. That's a question. Then there's Ifeodo suspended as Euro Decor Home Limited ambassador. Surprise, surprise. You want to find out why?
That's sad and it's very unfortunate.
Do you want to find out why? Okay, so it says social media personality Ifeodo's contract with Euro Decor Home Limited as the company's brand ambassador has been suspended. In letter dated July 7, the decor company explained that it took the decision as a result of Ife's resolve to stay off media for some time. On July 5, 2021, she announced that she was taking a break from social media. She said that her decision to go off social media was political and that her mental health was at stake. Well, it has cost her. Let's look at other stories. There's this interesting one. MP requests law against swollen shoot disease. And the Member of Parliament for Ofinso South, Dr. Isaac Yaopuku, has asked Parliament to make a law that will make the treatment of swollen shoot disease, that is CSSVD, affected farms compulsory. According to him, the CSSVD is a potential threat to the cocoa industry in Ghana, intimating that large tracts of cocoa farms in the western, northwestern, eastern, Bono East, Ahafo, Central Volta, and Ashanti regions have been severely affected by the disease, with most of the trees completely dead. You can also check out on pages 10 and 11, SHS teachers in trouble for wasting instructional time. And there is this one, 3 robbers get 210 years. So I guess if that's not a warning enough, I don't know what would be. Ronaldo wins Euro 2020 Golden Boot. He beat a Sheikh, though they both had 5, and it was courtesy of his assists. And Saka suffers racial abuse. All of that in the Daily Guide newspaper.
All right, let's do the New Independent newspaper. And on the front page, lawyer sues Cape Coast University over human rights abuses. Red Cross faces injunction as angry members sue over controversial elections. Just a bit of, the CJ's story is also on in the paper, actually. Just the, the banner headline there. But it's the lawyer suing that I wanted to share a bit. It says 21 students of the Cape Coast Technical University have, through their legal counsel, sued the university over what the students describe as wrongful dismissal and rustication of the school authorities. Richard Kwesin Kroma Amos is the lawyer representing the aggrieved students. He's filed a 32-page application at the Cape Coast High Court, challenging the decision of the school and calling on the court to quash same for reasons cited in his motion paper and the accompanying, all the legal stuff. But you can read about it in terms of what they claim is constituting the human rights abuses and why really they were dismissed from the school. A bit on page 9 about the Red Cross. Where's the story? It says the Ghana Red Cross Society has been sued over its recent Greater Accra and national elections held in Accra last month. On June 26th, aggrieved members and individuals who contested various positions of the group have resorted to the legal means for justice after petitions and efforts made for amicable resolution have failed. The rest of it is in the paper today.
Let's check out the Finder newspaper now. Chief Justice calls for criminal investigations into bribery allegation. Treat MPs fairly, that's according to John Kuma. I'll just take a swipe at that story. And the Member of Parliament for the Ejiso constituency of the Ashanti region of Ghana, lawyer John Ampuntua Kuma, has pleaded with Ghanaians to treat members of the August House with the fairness they deserve. He also said that the members of Parliament's office is part of the Article 71 office holders described by the Constitution. Hence, they should be treated just as all the other offices under the article. There's also the story on page 5. My husband was threatened several times before his death. That's Kaka's wife. There is Cocoa Board urges culinary sector to explore recipes that maximize cocoa use in homes, and tourism to create 1 million jobs in 4 years. Minister declares as he launches Visit Ghana app. And pictured there, Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed Awal, Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture.
All right, let's do the Daily Dispatch newspaper. The Chief Justice, remember I said that story is in all the papers, largely.
Like today, because it didn't emerge but yesterday, for example, practically nothing about it, but today it's everywhere.
Absolutely. So it's on the front page of the Daily Dispatch, but also the story that I shared with you yesterday, the 15-year-old Form 2 student at Accra Academy who we're told allegedly confers to setting fire on the school's dormitory, actually responsible for 3 fires, according to what is out. That story is here in the Daily Dispatch newspaper. And then, well, there's also the curious case of the lawyer making the allegation against the Chief Justice. And today the paper is reminding us that he was suspended in 2017. So it says lawyer FIFA was suspended for professional misconduct in 2017. His license was withdrawn for 4 years by the GLC. He was found guilty on 3 offenses. Well, here's what other people will say to the story. And so what? There are plenty others who have been suspended for one thing or the other. What is out there should be, you know, distinct from what has happened in the past, some will say. But hey, listen, who are we? The thing is unfolding. In the meantime, the disciplinary committee itself that originally was handling the matter will sit on the 15th. 15th is what? 2 days away, is it?
Yes, 2 days away.
Yeah, except that it's not a public sitting. So unless, again, somebody leaks the information to the rest of us, we won't know.
So right now, leaks are the norm, not the exception.
Hey, Asemo. But if anybody would leak.
Very official documentation leak even before. And you know, some people have got sacked via leaked messages that they hadn't even received yet.
But here's the thing, you know, they all belong to one group, right?
Yeah.
So if something is leaking from that, I mean, it's from amongst them, no.
Yes, say
this one.
Or if we are to go by former President Rawlings' version, may his soul rest in peace. No,
Yeah. Because journalists, no journalist will be allowed there. You have to belong to the fraternity to have access. You have to belong to a certain whatever. So they now will bring it to us and we will share. You see.
Let's do the BNFT. Government signals limited need for new borrowing. 9 pirate attacks recorded in 18 months. Very quickly, those 9 pirate attacks, some of us may not be aware, but they all happened within our territorial waters. Now, 6 out of the 9 incidents actually took place last year, with 3 occurrences taking place between January and June 2021. These attacks were mainly on ships transporting bulk petroleum and its products and ships carrying exotic goods. And so that is some cause for worry. Now, though the menace is rapidly increasing in West Africa, the Ghana Maritime Authority told the BNFT that these recorded attacks actually started from other countries and penetrated into Ghana's exclusive economic zone. But that is cause for worry. Government is also signaling a limited need for new borrowing, and it's signaling a limited need for new financing from the domestic debt market following the announcement of a new issuance calendar for July to September 2021. You can check out details on pages 2 and 3 of the Business and Financial Times newspaper.
You have another paper to review?
No. Basically, the headlines are the same. No need to go over the same ones again. Okay.
So we get ready to do myjoyonline.com, but there's a story in the Daily Graphic newspaper that I wanted to touch on page 20. To avoid any inconvenience, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust is entreating pensioners who are yet to complete their pensioner certificate to do so by August 30 this year. And, you know, just so if you haven't heard, you can do so before the deadline. Otherwise, you have to renew and go through the processes before you can be paid your pension. So SNITS is reminding you that from September 1 this year, it will embark on an exercise to delete the names of more than 13,000 pensioners who are 72 and above from its payroll. If you know that you are a pensioner but you haven't gone through the process to renew your pensioner certificate, I hope that, as you've heard, you will quickly do so before you are caught up in this one. Otherwise, it will take you a while to do the renewal and get the certificate before you begin to receive your pension. All right, Ben?
Well, let's check out myjoyonline.com, find out what the stories are there. And it says, First Lady rejects allowance, moves to refund 899,000 Ghana cedis received since 2017. Okay, so that's it. First Lady rejects allowance and is planning on returning those 899K. Ijra Kaka mentioned those who threatened to harm him, not those who wanted him dead. That is according to his wife, Humu. Then there are some teachers demand resignation of NAT's leadership over promotion exam failures. Don't rig CSO's nomination onto Office of Special Prosecutor Board, Martin Amidu tells Kufuado. And you can see why that would be problematic. Government guaranteeing vehicle loans for MPs, ridiculous. That's according to Professor Jampo. But that's not what is shared by some members of parliament. Ghana may run out of ICU beds and COVID-19 amid COVID-19 surge. That's according to the GMA. 12-year-old girl allegedly commits suicide at Jomoro in Western region. But we know there are other angles of that story that paint a different picture. There's also High Court throws out Senor Hosi's defamation case against Kennedy Japan, as well as the Speaker announcing a review of the GIPC Act permitting Nigerian traders into Ghana's retail space. And that would have a lot of impact, so to speak, when it comes to the trading space. We know how some entities have roughed up the Nigerian community in Ghana. You can check out that and many other stories on myjoyonline.com. Right now, there is time for us to get jiggy with it when it comes to sports. Mutau is here to do it. Stay.